good. And then here you see Halifax Prep coming out with the press. And what you sacrifice is just this. Easy layups on the other end. No Jaron Johnson, it appears, for Halifax today. But the man to keep an eye on is the young man with the basketball right now, as McGee has it. But it was Brendan Mutu, excuse me. Getting confused with Benjamin Datro. Muntu fading on that one. And he's been averaging nearly 35 a game for the first couple days. Tony trying to take a charge, but the layup is good. And here is Muntu with it. Muntu swings it, gets it now over to McGee. Julius McGee back to Muntu. Driving, pulls it back out. Muntu into the lane. Deflected out of bounds. It's Anthony Bradshaw, the big fellow wearing number 7. Missed the first game this week, and since then he's provided B.E.A.S.T with a big uplift in energy, and it's kind of been the spark plug that they've needed. As the rebound is corralled by B.E.A.S.T Prep, and here comes down the floor, and here's Bradshaw finishing off the break. Textbook tic-tac-toe, and a timeout. Marcus Seaton wants to talk things over. Animated, incensed, and upset. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, more action between Halifax Prep and B.E.A.S.T.
Yet again, a 10-point advantage restored for Team Blue. Oh! It's Judy Georges throwing it down!
Welcome to the NPH live broadcasting experience. Allow our team of video technicians to capture your event in high definition. Streaming directly on all NPH media platforms. Up-to-the-minute live game coverage featuring professional commentators and analysts.
Tip in! No good! 2 seconds to go! Oh!
Commercial spots available to promote and market your brand, event, or product. Enjoy the ultimate way to catch the game when you can.
8-2 run for B.E.A.S.T Prep to start this game as Muntu pulls up and off the front iron, hangs on the rim for a moment. Jaron Johnson, bit of an update on him. He's been dealing with a shoulder injury all week long, and he's receiving treatment at the moment as we speak, so not sure what his status is, and we'll see if, obviously he's a big piece of the puzzle for this Halifax Prep team. Shot on its way, it's good. Burying it from deep, and we have our first triple. That is Nelson, and he's been a force from beyond the arc all week long. Here's Matt Green with it. Green breaks through the pressure. Bradshaw, pass deflected. Fortunate to get it through. Dumps it down. Davis hanging on the rim, no good. McGee with it. Julius McGee stepped up yesterday, provided much needed complimentary scoring piece in their win over St. Laurent. Cairo Berry over to McGee, over to Ryan Toney, the senior. Fires away, and it's no good, and deflected. It'll stay with Halifax Prep. Elias, as someone, of course, who oversees a lot of what happens here in the NPA, and McGee hits. But when, looking at a first-year program with Halifax Prep, a young head coach in Marcus Seaton, what have you been most impressed by with this young team, this young coaching staff, a team that obviously still trying to find itself, still trying to establish an identity?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that stands out is being able to play with a full roster of guards. Everybody here at the next level is going to be playing the guard position, maybe a small forward or two. But for the most part, the guard play, it's outstanding, and just to having them all mesh together and understand the game and playing symbiotically, that's been impressive.
Starting to find some synergy within this team, and Jaron Johnson, you see him trotting over to the bench and having a little bit of a conversation with his coach. I've been very impressed with Marcus Seaton. You see the energy that he displays and he brings to the table as a young coach, and the way he communicates with his players. I feel like he's going to be in a position where he can really develop and build this Halifax prep program. As there you see Davis finishing the layup. McGee with it. Screen set. McGee to Barry. Barry, pass, deflected, and kickball. Substitution coming. Anthony Bradshaw checking out. Muntu inbounding, gets it into Tony. Tony driving baseline. A lot of contact there, unable to finish. Pushing it up the floor. Screen, space, short. Green gets his own rebound. Left hand, kicks it out to Nelson. Back to Green, inside. Attacking, Jervon Davis, no good. And Jaron Johnson in the game now for Halifax Prep. Brandon Muntu to McGee. McGee swings it to Johnson. Johnson to Muntu. Muntu, nice crossover, spinning into the lane, no good. Fights for his, corrals his own rebound, kicks it back out. 10 on the shot clock.
And Muntu's going to have the green light for the, regardless of if he's making or missing, considering he's the leading scorer of the session. However, he's got to also know when to force and when not to.
Just pick your points. Know when you can put your stamp on this game. Good move. Count it. Delayed foul call, but it's good. Going to the free throw line for one more. And to touch upon Jaron Johnson quickly, Elias, and you've seen him, and obviously he turned some heads at that Ottawa session. Here's a guy who is a big part of what this Halifax Prep team wants to do, and his ability to stroke it from the perimeter and also operate in space with that killer crossover that he likes to use, going left to right and changing speeds and finishing around the rim.
Yeah, he's very well packaged as a PG. I think that's his primary position at the next level, and he's decided on it from now, and he's got the skill set to keep advancing. I think once his three ball gets into, it's not that he's a good three-point shooter. He can make, he's hovering around 40-45% from three, but once his form gets consistent, it's going to make him a real perimeter threat, considering that he could take it off the dribble and create for his teammates as well.
Muntu unable to connect from deep, from long range. It's Matt Green, and he's short. A little bit of a three-point barrage as we go back and forth. And here's Johnson. Look at that crossover, the delivery, and a foul. Oh. Jaron Johnson putting it on a platter for Brandon Muntu, and
right on cue, huh?
perfect timing. And he's going to go to the foul line. Bradshaw checking back in. This time for Davis. First is good from Brandon Muntu. Second free throw also good. And now here's this pressure defense. Oh yeah, and a turnover. Jaron Johnson getting his hands in there. Muntu, no, but gets his own rebound and finishes. Brandon Muntu. Look at the pressure being applied by Halifax. A traveling violation, got away with one there, but and ball is deflected out of bounds. It's going to be Halifax basketball. Greg Robitaille respectfully disagrees with that one, but with 4:23 remaining, a 4-point game. Again, our second game of the day. Here's McGee, Julius McGee. Gets it over into the corner now. Muntu, got it! He's a scoring machine. Brandon Muntu into the lane. Tony trying to take a charge, doesn't get it. Bradshaw fighting for it underneath. Johnson in there, Bradshaw. Oh, just too big.
And Bradshaw's actually had some schools coming out here to look at him for the for the U Sport level. Again, just a reminder to our viewers and folks at home, what was once called Canadian Inter-University Sport, CIS, has now switched over to U Sport. So that is essentially Canadian University Sports.
Bradshaw finishing underneath. Still got to get used to that.
Yep.
Find myself often making that mistake as well, and short on that one is Muntu. A lot of the guys you watch here have the potential to fill out and be very productive players at the next level, whether it be U Sports or somewhere in the United States, at a junior college or.
Now you ask any of the kids on the floor right now what level do you want to play at? They're all going to tell you NCAA. Every single one of them.
Yes.
But maybe 5% of them knows what it really, really takes to play at the NCAA level. And this is the same for viewers watching at home. If you're a prospect between 9th and 12th grade and you think that you're an NCAA prospect, ask yourself these questions. Are you maximizing on every single day? During the Christmas break, what did you do every single day? Did you eat correctly? Did you come back in season form? Did you ball handle for an hour a day? Did you go to the gym? Did you work out? All of these things. If you're going to be an NCAA prospect, you got to start living like one from right now.
Brandon Muntu, he's at the stripe. Here's a guy who's really obviously elevated his status and has seen his stock rise. He's made quite a name for himself here in the early going for this Halifax prep team. And Jaron Johnson, another guy we've spoken extensively about. One guy we haven't touched on yet, Ryan Toney. He's the lone senior on this team and just a likable guy. A young man who, good teammate, unselfish, low maintenance kind of guy, and has established quite the cachet or quite the relationship with his head coach, Marcus Eaton. And there you see Keandre Smith, in the game, number 0 in black for Halifax Prep. Johnson. They switch that, and it's McGee now guarding the ball. Screen set by Yor, and a traveling violation.
And a bad decision there. Look, you got one guy getting mad at the other. That was a bad take. You're attacking against 2 defenders with nowhere to go. You just got to be more cognizant of that on your way to the basket.
We talk about the importance of having a high basketball IQ, and that really separating a lot of these guys that are in that category where skill set may be on par with one another, and you need to see, okay, what separates yourself? Well, IQ, your intelligence and your approach to the game, that makes a significant difference. There's a foul on the floor. That'll send B.E.A.S.T to the charity stripe. Free throw is good. Second on its way, also pure. Substitution coming. It's Trayvon Davis checking back in, or Javon Davis, checking back in. He's going to play the top of this zone defense. Now go back to a man. Johnson, Toney, guarded by Davis. Toney, great pass. Ryan Toney finding Muntu for the deuce. Floats it up over the top. Cutting, stolen by Toney. Pushing it up the floor. Toney crossing over in the floor and finishing with the left hand. Here comes Halifax Prep.
Looking for their second win of the season. Got one last night. They want more.
Davis, no good. Toney, Muntu with it. Left hand, switches to his right, back to his left. Gets it over to Johnson. Johnson to Muntu. Thought about it. Toney looks off. Here's Smith.
Good fake by Smith. Getting
Corner
the defender
triple.
off his feet.
Good! Brandon Muntu.
These boys got it cooking. They got it cooking, Daniele. Could it be win number 2 on the way for the program?
And a steal! Toney, Smith, layup, good! What a run!
It's all been Ryan Toney here. Similar performance he had in Ottawa was the spark plug for these guys, and has even there, even on that possession.
Steal. Smith to the basket, no good. But Ryan Toney getting it done on both ends of the floor. Davis, well defended by Johnson. Outlet feed, Toney on the other end. Yes, layup is good. Ryan Toney, a spark plug here in this first half. Down to 2, shot on its way, short.
And to wrap up this quarter, Daniele, this is psychologically, B.E.A.S.T Prep has put Halifax in a very good situation. They're coming off of a win last night, and now in this game, they know that they can mess with these seniors.
Confidence is a dangerous thing, and you see a Halifax Prep team that now has staked themselves to a 6-point advantage. As we're going to take a break here. When we come back, oh boy, these boys are on fire. We're going to see if they can sustain that consistency and that success. We'll be back.
We've traveled across the country and back. 6 years running. Canada's basketball talent blossoms right before our eyes. From coast to coast. It's our job to bring it to the light. No gimmicks, just hard work.
Back with you live here at Crestwood Preparatory College as Halifax Prep. A big surge at the end of that quarter, and they have a 6-point lead here in quarter number 2. Oh, beautiful. Euro step into the lane and a nifty finish. It's Muntu now coming up the floor quickly in transition. By Bradshaw. Not the matchup you want if you're Beast, but fortunate that he misses that triple there. Pushing in transition, it's Nelson kicking it. Green. And steps on the sideline, out of bounds, and a turnover.
And just getting the message in here from the scores table. Muntu already with 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists in the first quarter.
My God.
Shooting percentage now, in order to keep that high, we'll have to make a better shot selection in the second and all the way through this game, but he's on pace to near that average.
Well, it appears Jaron Johnson on a bit of a minutes restriction. You see him again. He's trying to stretch out that shoulder, but right now it's Cairo Berry, Julius McGee, and of course Brandon Muntu. Guys who are driving the ship, and Ryan Toney also getting a breather. He was fantastic in that first quarter, and now Berry pushing it in transition on the bigger defender. Berry's fouled. Cairo Berry. And last night in their win, we saw Halifax Prep shoot a very high percentage from beyond the arc. And overall, I mean, you've seen significant growth from this team from start to finish, Elias, in terms of what they did at the Ottawa session and now here in Toronto as Berry hits the first.
And you said it at the beginning of the first quarter. Confidence can be very dangerous for the opposition, and that's what Halifax is playing with right now. They know that they can hang. They're applying pressure. They're getting a lot of transition buckets, and if they can continue to capitalize on that, they're going to put themselves in a good situation to be at par here at the end of the game.
How about that finish from Mark Giles? In traffic. Muntu. Obviously someone we've been talking about extensively. How about the crossover? Turns it over. Nelson. Layup is good.
He's got one of the best crossovers in the game to lose that defender. Now, I know the pass was a little off the mark there, but way to loosen up and lose him.
Julius McGee back to Muntu. Barking out instructions as Marcus Eden pull up. It's rejected. And there you want to see him be a little more cautious and patient. Green handoff. Nelson, sharpshooter. Off the mark that time. Rebound, fighting for it. Look at the hustle. And Giles underneath can't corral it, but there's Matt Green. No good. Another rebound. Some good work underneath from Tyrese Todd. And now Cairo Berry. Oh, Euro step into the lane. Anthony Bradshaw had a few choice words after making that defensive stand.
And Barry's going to have to make some wiser decisions there as you're approaching the rim. He's coming down the middle of the floor. He sees 3 blue jerseys. There's nowhere to go there. You want to reset that. He's got the ball hand in to reset that and, you know, bring it back up top. Set something up in the half-court set.
McGee. Oh, wow. Change of hands, can't finish. One other thing, when you see 3 jerseys, you know somebody's open.
That's right.
So you might want to survey and see if you can kick it out. And typically you want guys in the corners as Nelson converts, and we're back to a 2-point game. A timeout, Marcus Eaton. When we return, this Beast team on a bit of a run. Anthony Bradshaw, the catalyst. We'll be back.
Looking to beat the buzzer. Stick back jab, Jacoby Neath.
Hey! Let's go, man. Good pick, boy.
Transition, Shaheem Malcolm. Oh, someone checked that ball for a bruise. With the steal. Blowing past everybody, A.J. Lawson.
Let's go, bro.
In transition, throwing it down. Off the backboard, Jashawn.
Back inside Crestwood Preparatory College. We've been treated to some very good basketball over the past 72 hours or so. And now here in this one, it's a 2-point game between Halifax Prep and B.E.A.S.T. Just over 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Muntu, he's fouled by Bradshaw. They're calling on the floor, I believe. Halifax Prep may not have the size to compete against some of these much larger, much stronger teams, but one thing they do have, tactically they've been very, very poised. And you get it down now, Tony, kick it out, extra pass, attacking, oh, and a foul. Hard foul there. That's what you like to see. You like to see a team that's drive and kick, penetrate, attack with some decisiveness, no indecision. Again, if you're just joining us, second game of 5 today here at Crestwood. The host, Crestwood Prep Lions, 4-0 this week. They've been tremendous. We've seen some excellent games in CTA. Still looking forward to seeing them play a few more games the rest of the way, and that layup is good. And coming up the floor, Cairo Berry over to Muntu. Tony, handoff, Muntu. Screen set by Tony. Muntu again, trying to attack, create off the dribble.
He's ultra skilled, man. Great touch off the glass, soft there. Knew where he was, knew where the rim was. Just really able to get off a good shot.
And a kiss off the glass for 2 at 8 points, 5 rebounds in that first quarter, and continuing with the hot hand here, averaging better than 35 a game, the leading scorer in this session. But look at that move. How about that move? Just can't finish. Couldn't get the touch that time, but able to turn the corner. Jaron Johnson checking back in. Cairo Berry going to take a seat. Marcus Eaton barking out instructions, and Matt Green now facing pressure. Nelson, errant pass, lucky to keep it alive. Nelson gets it back. Here's Green from the top. No good, back iron, and pops out. Long rebound, corralled by Halifax. Here's Muntu into the lane. Foul. Oh, wow. battles through, fights through contact, able to get his own rebound and finish. Nelson. Oh, man. And so you see the repercussions, the reverberations of a guy who was dialed in from distance yesterday, now putting it on the floor. McGee, no good. Tony in there, still fighting.
One of the main
finish.
differences in this game, Daniela, it's clear cut that Halifax Prep is just fighting more. They want it more.
And the tenacious disposition of this
Good hands by Johnson.
Halifax team. Tony, open look, you know he's gonna pop that and buries it. Oh. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Ryan he's been receiving a lot of attention from some CCAA programs out on the East Coast. Definite that he can play at that level and be very effective. I think, you know, even some U Sport programs on the East Coast might be worth taking a look at.
Steal. McGee, be careful with the clear path. Oh, and a dangerous foul there. And Nelson, it looked like he was going to tug on that jersey. Could have been even worse, maybe unsportsmanlike or a clear path, but you know, McGee's going to go to the line. And so Marcus Seaton chatting it up with the officials a little bit.
I really like these jerseys that Halifax Prep's got
I do,
on.
and my only ask would be there's a little bit of trim.
Just a trim on the number.
Yes.
Or like a shine to it.
No,
like,
and I think even the design is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. They're sharp. Their white uniforms are sharp. And
you seen their logo? Have you zoomed in on their logo and really, you know the H that makes up the Halifax Prep? It's actually the shape of the bridge that connects two cities in Halifax.
Wow. The level of detail.
Oh, I like it.
Very
I really
impressive.
like it.
I think for me, St. Laurent, we saw them earlier, I really like their uniforms. But Halifax Prep has some nice threads as well, and the three is good. It's a 2-point game. McGee, oh, nice look. Muntu, and he's not going to miss those very often. Walker, oh, good pass from Green. Dangerous collision. And Johnson, a little shaken up. Slow to get up. Teammates tending to him. And the sub, he's asking for a sub.
He's a tough kid, man. And, you know, he's playing through an injury. I was worried about him, just seeing him go up like that and fall. And want to be careful with that shoulder. Definitely not worth a serious injury before, you know, national come around.
So at the line, it's Jervon Davis. First free throw, good. And Halifax Prep was able to string together a solid run to end that first quarter. And now we've seen B.E.A.S.T Prep come out and kind of provide that counter punch. It's all knotted up at 42. 4 minutes remaining here in this opening half. McGee screen set Tony, pulls up, short. Nelson with it. Dylan Nelson, he's been very impressive this week for B.E.A.S.T. Has it now, kicks it to the corner. Back to Nelson, back to Green, extra pass. Davis, no good. But good ball movement there on that sequence from B.E.A.S.T. Here's Muntu. McGee, Muntu. Nice move. Attacking. One thing I've noticed, you see B.E.A.S.T now, they're collapsing defensively. Anytime Brandon Muntu, even just at any point, you see some slimmer of possibility that he's going to attack. They've been quick to bottle him up.
And Muntu, another one of those 2020 prospects here in the NPA. Star-studded with 2020 prospects, so we got a pretty bright future here. We're going to be talking about these guys for some time to come.
Tony, left-hand layup is good. He's had a big first half for Halifax Prep. Nelson, Davis, nearly threw that down. No call. It looked like and Jared Johnson, a couple of questionable Dribbles there, might look like he carried, but here's Johnson. Thinks better of popping that one. And McGee down at 8 on the shot clock. Johnson decides he's going to thrust one up from deep and no good. 2:38 and a timeout. B.E.A.S.T Prep, they're going to talk things over. A 45-44 game, 2:38 remaining. We'll take a short break.
History has been made in Canadian basketball.
From the Maritimes to the nation's capital.
I just like the sound.
Grady Cancun, my goodness.
To the 6.
Oh, big block there.
To the prairies.
By Deshaun Henry.
All the way to British Columbia. This is the NPA.
One hand jam! All over the defense! My lord!
Goodness gracious! Campbell with the facial.
Oh! E-man! Defense to offense.
Cummins, that is
No
not
way.
the guy.
No way!
Cummins. Plus the foul.
Got the answer. Wow! That's another good one there. Is Sammy Hunter.
Back live here at Crestwood, and a 1-point game, 2:30 remaining in this opening half. Oh, look at the defensive intensity. Halifax Prep bringing it in this first half.
And that's Ty Mergnaham. Ty's a 6'2 guard, also 2020 class.
Here's Mergnaham handoff with Jaron Johnson. McGee off the mark. Rebound. Mergnaham doing some dirty work, just can't get it to go. Unable to convert. Here's Matt Green. He had him in the corner, just pass was off the mark. Subs coming for B.E.A.S.T. It's Anthony Bradshaw among them. And Dylan Nelson's gonna take a seat. 2:07 remaining. Here comes Andre Smith for Halifax. It's gonna give McGee a bit of a blow. One thing that's been really impressive, we know Jaron Johnson likes to talk and be very vocal on the floor, but Brandon Muntu, he's also done a fair share of talking, and oh, nice pass! Mergnaham finishing.
But one thing I love about Brendan Muntoon's game is he's got a very high IQ. He understands where everybody is on the floor. He knows when the cutters are coming. Good court sense as well. I mean, he's very well-rounded. For the 2019 class, that is a prospect that low to mid-major NCAA coaches need to really look at. This is a guy who's going to come in and make a difference right away while playing the point at 6'3".
Here comes Jaron Johnson up the floor. Johnson, screen set by Tony. Kicks it Smith, extra pass. Muntu thinks better of it. Smith to Muntu. Shot on its way, no good. There's Green with it. Green surveys the floor, swings it. Backing down. Throws one up and no good. Johnson less than a minute now. Time ticking away in this first half. Smith, stripped. B.E.A.S.T. also stripped Ryan. Tony, what a play. Good heads up play. Mergnaham rolls out. Bradshaw, rebound. Green, slicing into the lane. Left hand, no good, but he's fouled. So he'll go to the line. Another thing with Muntu, we talk about his IQ, and that's a skill, an attribute that's translatable. It's transferable. We talk about transferable skills. And as much as basketball can teach you different lessons in terms of life in general, for guys that want to play at the next level, You got to start thinking about what skills can I develop that are going to be transferable and allow me to excel as I progress in my basketball career.
Yeah, and then you look at his character as well. Talk to his teachers, talk to his coaches, his teammates. He's a very liked individual. That's a very important quality on any team.
Keysandre Smith, smallest guy on the floor, comes up with an offensive rebound. Nearly turned it over. Marcus Eaton can't be too upset about that. And Smith, he's going to be the trigger man on this one with 11 seconds remaining. They get it into Muntu, and you're probably going to clear it out, maybe set a screen. Oh, lost the handle. Lost his footing. Johnson! Oh, it's short. And that's going to do it here in this opening half. 49-46 in favor of Halifax Prep. We got a good one. Stay tuned. It's a halftime break. We'll be back with third quarter action.
Everyone has their story. What's yours? Were you born with the ball in your hands? Or were you a late bloomer? Are you a dead-eye shooter? Or a high flyer? Throws up an alley-oop! All elbow! Williams! Are you a leader? Or an elite role player? North Pole Hoops wants to know, what's your story? Everyone has their story. What's yours? Were you born with the ball in your hands? Or were you a late bloomer? Are you a dead-eye shooter? Or a high flyer? Throws up an alley-oop! All elbow! Williams! Are you a leader? Or an elite role player? North Pole Hoops wants to know, what's your story?
Has to back out. Now he's got a little space to operate. Nice pass. Wow. Oh, what a nice pass.
Kevin read a book called Long Shot, a story about Steve Nash. I can connect it with Steve's story a lot, not comparing them, but just the whole idea that when Nash won the MVP, the next day, his first MVP, the next day he says, now I really have to prove myself. And that's what the good ones do, is they're constantly striving for better and better and better. And you know, kids that are grade 9, grade 10, they're very good, but they're just starting. And they need to understand that you're good, but you're just starting, and just never be satisfied. Keep working. And I think that that's what Kevin really, really taught me in writing the book, is about how it's never be satisfied. Just keep going. And that's what the can't miss philosophy is about too.
Nova Scotia has a lot of basketball history, and Halifax Prep is adding a new chapter as the province's first prep program. The NPA's youngest head coach, Marcus Eaton, is working alongside the team's founders to use the Maritimes' working class mentality as the team's on-court identity.
We can ball with anyone in the country.
When I played basketball when I was younger, there was nothing like this. I don't even think I knew about prep school, right? And it was happening all over the country and in North America, but now that we have it here in Halifax, it's exciting. I'm very excited. We're always gonna have Nova Scotians on our team, but we don't have big players. We don't have any 6'5", 6'6" guys. It's 1 in a million kind of thing. So it's really that grit, that heart, right? And they never give up. It's a never give up attitude over there in Nova Scotia.
We have to play with heart and give it everything we got every time we step on the court. We have to use our speed to our advantage. A lot of kids looked up to us, and then they see us playing at a higher level, and then I just want to show them that if they put the work in, then the sky's the limit for them.
Like any basketball program, recruiting players from outside the province is important. And in their debut season, Brandon Muntu from Calgary, Alberta made the move out east, surprising many in his hometown.
They were kind of shocked at first because they're like, you know, why move? You can just stay in the city. But like, I thought it was best for me and also for my family that I move out of the city and try to do a lot more things in my basketball career as well. It was kind of different moving from a winning team. It's good to win games, but at the same time, if you're not losing games, you're not learning from your mistakes.
Bringing Brandon Mutu in really elevated our team, and that really elevated Nova Scotia, to be honest with you, because no really outsiders come to Nova Scotia to play basketball.
Having Brandon come play from Calgary in Nova Scotia, it really elevated our level of play because all across Canada, basketball is played differently.
Me staying in Canada was just like a good decision for me, and you know, a perfect fit than just going down south and play basketball down there.
This program also provides a unique opportunity for the team's lone senior, a member of the Mi'kmaq tribe, Ryan Toney, who until this season had never lived off of his reserve, the Eskazoni First Nation in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, where involvement in any sport at a young age can be a life-changing decision.
As a kid, I was in ballet, tap dance, gymnastics, soccer, football. Just wanted to play basketball. Nobody was as good to play and look up to. And I have a little brother. We're starting to be like the role models now. We're making basketball big in my community. It's real special to me.
Third quarter action set to get underway. B.E.A.S.T Prep, Halifax, locked in a tight one here at Crestwood Preparatory College. Some first half numbers for you, and really there's only one man that really has put his imprint on this game in some fascinating ways. It's Brandon Mutu. 17 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists.
Incredible, incredible.
Talk about a guy channeling his inner Russell Westbrook and taking this into his own hands and saying, I'm going to put my imprint on this one. And Johnson, now here's Mutu with it. Decides to dish it off. McGee deep into the shot clock. Now he's going to try and create. He gets it to Toney. Toney fires. Back iron, no good. An offensive rebound by Murdenham. He gets it back in the corner, no good. Julius McGee.
Now, B.E.A.S.T has given up a lot of second chance opportunities. They are allowing one too many for Halifax Prep. And once they start capitalizing on that, these guys are going to be in some trouble.
Foul on the other end. And that shouldn't be the case.
You're
really
right.
Shouldn't, especially when you look at the disparity in size, and you have an Anthony Bradshaw out there who's a 6'7" big. You have Victor Yor, who you saw in the first half as well, and just don't expect that to happen. And that was one of the concerns for Marcus Eaton in some of his games earlier this week. You know, going up against teams that were much bigger and had a distinct size advantage. So adjusting his strategy, trying to pick up the pace and play with tempo and generate some turnovers, get some easy baskets. Here's McGee to Johnson. Mutu to Johnson. We'll see if he can be productive. Toney short. And with Jaron Johnson, he's not 100%, you can see it. But his presence alone, it makes him a threat. Yeah, it gives him another weapon on the floor as a great cut.
That
Beautiful
pass that you saw from Johnson cross court there normally comes with a lot more power and accuracy, but that you could see that he's kind of favoring the shoulder. Hasn't shot it as well.
You see Marcus Eaton trying to instruct his team to run the overload set. It's a bit of a zone here, zone look from B.E.A.S.T, and it's yielded some positive results here early on in the third. A 9-point advantage. Mutu, Johnson fires, it's off. And a shot clock violation. Inbounding, and Matt Green has it for B.E.A.S.T. Carrying the ball up the floor. Pressure being applied. Bradshaw back down underneath. Oh, good strong move. Strong move, good take. There's McGee. Johnson. Screen set by Toney. Toney. It's John. Oh.
Just a pretty move, man.
Good
He's
touch.
just so sleek when he gets in the lane.
Used the screen there and found just enough space to get that floater off. Green, he's fouled. McGee, the culprit, that time. We encourage you to continue chiming in, join the conversation in our live chat. Producer Tristan monitoring and mediating the conversation as Green hits. Here's McGee to Johnson. It's an 11-point lead now for Beast Prep. They've opened it up a little bit here to start this third quarter. Johnson loses the handle, gets it to Muntu, fires, it's off the mark. Green pushing in transition with the left hand and a reach and foul on Tony, I believe, or Muntu, one of those two. And it is Muntu, he's the culprit this time around. Again, our second of 5 games today, and the stream will be alive and well, and we hope to continue to bring you some excellent basketball here at Crestwood Preparatory College. Bradshaw kicks it out. Green, no good. Excuse me, that was Dylan Nelson. Couldn't find the range, and now it's Green. Johnson. Oh, good move.
And if you look away from the ball for Beast, you see Bradshaw. He's trying to make offense happen even away from the ball. He's trying to set off-ball screens, but some of the guards are just staying on the perimeter. They're making a pass and they're staying put, feet in concrete.
One of the more vocal players on this Beast squad, and he was wired for sound yesterday. I'm sure that's going to be quite the mic'd up segment. Keep your eyes peeled for that on our North Ball Hoops YouTube channel and our social platforms. And of course, if you missed any of the highlights, any of the top plays, we encourage you, invite you to head over to any of our social feeds and get caught up with some of the highlights. And yesterday, Naz Roberts.
Ooh, that climb from him.
That was something else.
Climbing on a 6'10" defender.
It was impressive to see live, the elevation. Just making a quick move along the baseline in that game for Central Tech and elevating. One of the many fantastic plays we've seen over the past few days. Here's Muntu dribbling across the timeline. McGee gets to the corner. Mergnahan. McGee. Screen set. McGee, nice jumper. Tony, all right, Tony. Can't finish there, but he gets the offensive board and doing some serious work on the interior. Great pass. Oh, how about that delivery? Timeout. They're going to talk things over, and we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Let's keep it going. Keep the intensity high.
Get your feet square, get your feet square.
Take it home, write it down, grab a homie, and work on it. Work on it, master it.
AJ Lawson, go! He gets it to go! Wow. Pick it up, Jalen.
Oh my God!
Top 10, top 10.
Two-way players are the best players. Understand that. Two-way players are the best players.
Here's Sabri Phillip, two-hand jam!
Let's go, boy!
It doesn't matter from what city you're from, how tall you are, what school, what club you represent. Game speaks. There's no politics here.
Okay, let's keep it going. Keep the intensity high.
Get your feet square, get your feet square.
Take it home, write it down, grab a homie, and work on it. Work on it, master it.
AJ Lawson, go! He gets it to go! Wow. Pick it up, Jalen.
Oh my God!
Top 10, top 10.
62-48. Beast has expanded this lead, and it's now double digits as Muntu. That'll help you cut into it. As he hits the 3 and a warning. What's your stance on those warnings, those delayed game warnings where, you know, maybe inadvertently sometimes a player touches the
fair
ball?
enough. It's pretty basic. I mean, they just want to keep flow in the game.
But it's more instinctual, don't you think? That, I mean, players, especially you're playing defense, and whether it's a make or a miss, you're taught to go and pursue the ball. So I think naturally, even following your shot, sometimes it just happens, right?
Touche. But I mean, now that you've been warned, if you make the mistake again, then you know, you got to deal with the consequences.
McGee, Mergenham, back to McGee. A non-factor has been Jaron Johnson, and he's been dealing with that shoulder injury. Did not start this game, and there's Muntu.
And he's frustrated, but you know, it's perfectly fine for this game. I think he should, you know, just work on the healing process. It's far more important to have him later on in the season.
Absolutely. Going to the foul line, Logan Rousseau from Dartmouth, 6'4". One of the bigger guys on this team for Halifax Prep, and he's going to get a couple free throws. Halfway through this third quarter, first free throw, short. Got to get your legs into it. Get some more elevation, some more lift on your shot. That time, it's good. Here's Halifax Prep going back to that zone press. McGee, Nelson on him. Nelson trying to back him down, step back. Thinks better of it, kicks it out. Oh, Giles. Offensive rebound and the putback. McGee, Mertenham. Muntu. Tony, oh, cut! Come on! Great backdoor cut. Better pass and a good finish. Oh, wow, superb execution. Giles can't finish. And Rousseau fighting underneath, boxing out. The only one boxing out for Halifax Prep gets possession. Victor Yoryor into the game for B.E.A.S.T. McGee. 3-2 zone for B.E.A.S.T. McGee. Muntu. Got it! They needed that one. And who else but Brandon Muntu delivering. Nelson. Extra pass. Stolen by Tony. Mergenham. Muntu. Oh, thought he was going to test his range there. Tony. Oh, bounces around and trickles off the rim. Nelson. Handoff. McGee. Here's Giles with it. Nelson. Pass to clear out Nelson. No good from long distance. Tony. McGee. Coming up the floor. Left hand. Good move. Short on the floater. Good rebound. Tony thought about it. Gets it to Muntu. McGee. Short. Oh, how about that move? How about that move? Good finish in transition. Deflected out of play. We're going to conference between the officials here. It's a quick one, and it will be B.E.A.S.T basketball. Here comes Cairo Berry.
Another one of the primary ball handlers for Halifax Prep. You know, they have quite a few.
Halifax Prep, you can see the bench. It's Marcus Eaton urging his guys to pick up the energy a little bit, and they hit a little bit of a lull here in this third quarter. On its way long from Nelson. McGee, oh yes. Cairo Berry finishing the recipient of a beautiful feed from Julius McGee. Nelson puts it on the deck. Good idea there, but the execution, and he's fouled. Cairo Berry. You can see that first step and that ability to get up and down the floor, and Yor committing the foul.
And Victor Yor, a newcomer, 2019 class, 6'6" small forward from Nigeria. New to Canada, new to B.E.A.S.T Prep.
He's going to check back out, and I think in a bit of foul trouble perhaps. It's one of the elements of his game that he's going to have to improve upon. Just his discipline and his awareness, his instincts around the basket, and being a big guy and having some size. You're going to have to make sure you stay out of foul trouble. And last night it was fascinating to watch Casey Azagu and go to work for GTA Prep.
Yeah, he's really coming alive now.
Yeah, he's a guy that even puts so much pressure on you defensively that, you know, for the first couple quarters, you know, they were in the penalty. So that's a luxury to have when you have a guy like that, and 6'10" and lanky. You see Cairo Berry trying to encourage Ryan Tony, the senior, give him some love.
And Ryan Tony recognizes that he has a mismatch, but he's got to call for it. He's got to be a little more vocal. You can't expect, you know, the ball to come from the other side of the floor, and not everybody's watching the same thing that you're watching.
You have to speak up and be vocal. McGee, nice move. A little bit of contact, no call. But he doesn't give up on it. Gets it back. Shot clock's winding down. So they're gonna correct that. And it's gonna be a violation. So there's a conference between the officials. It's a violation, a 10-point lead for B.E.A.S.T. Marcus Eaton rolling with a short bench, 9 guys. And of course, it doesn't help when you have one of your key playmakers a little banged up as well with Johnson. Shot is good. Here's Johnson with it. Been dealing with that shoulder ailment, nursing that injury, and trying to play through it. Mutu, they've been killing them.
It's the same play, and B.E.A.S.T hasn't read it yet.
Just a high post dump down into the, and then create that cutting action along the 45 and into the paint, and it's been working to perfection.
Tyrese Virgo off the mark for B.E.A.S.T Prep from the corner.
Johnson with it up the floor. Nice move.
Terrific ball handling from him. You know, you can always count on him to be able to create offense for his teammates using his dribble, taking guys off the bounce.
Extra pass, Barry unable to connect from the corner. Up the floor, nice move. One extra pass, Virgo with it. Back out. Nelson, he's a sharpshooter. You can see kind of getting the monkey off his back today. Hasn't hit one up until now, but he connects from deep and clapping his hands.
Both Nelson and Green have a chance to really be, highly productive for the squad. I think by season's end, you want to see them in top-notch shape, top-notch physical shape. They're coming off of the Christmas break. I would have expected them to have really trimmed down, and that's effectively going to be, a difference maker for them as the season ends.
So we're heading to the fourth. It's a 13-point lead for B.E.A.S.T. Take a quick break.
I'm Kellen Tynes and I'm mic'd up for North Pole Hoops. Bad and boo, bad, cooking the dough with the ooze. Yeah. To my dog. Woo.
We're going to play a lot of zone, so we need to beat it down the court. We can run all our sets against the zone. You just got to run to good space.
Done it. Hey, yo, Bang into 30. I got middle. Dawson drop. Ben, see him. Don't let it get through there. Dawson drop. Hey! Let's go, boy! Ben, turn and sprint. Hey, and one! Go, let's go. Gotta want it. That ball's in the air. Push somebody, box him up. Get the ball, or squeeze it.
We need to make sure that at one time, Kellen, you did the absolute perfect thing you've never done since I met you. You stepped out, you tried to take up space. You weren't trying to take a charge, but you were trying to go and meet him. You accidentally went around it. And he's going to close that gap a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's Cairo Berry in front of your screen. Number 4 in black. We're going to need a big fourth quarter. This Halifax Prep team trailing by 13. It's McGee with it. Crossover. Back out to Johnson. He's been quiet, and like we've said, he's been dealing with that injury. You see that crossover, and just a bit of a miscommunication there between Muntu and Johnson.
Muntu had the right idea. Johnson was dribbling in that direction. He was going for the cutter, which they had executed so well before.
General rule of thumb, dribble at, cut back door.
Basics.
This will be Beast ball along the baseline here. Matt Green with it. Touched on him earlier. The end of that third quarter, and as being a guy who can really, there's a lot of potential with Green. Here's Virgo. Back to Green. Into the lane. Shot no good, and rebound secured by Barry. McGee pushing up the floor. They're really impressed with Julius McGee.
He's a heck of a playmaker, and I think, you know, having him, especially right now with Johnson injured, having McGee as your primary ball handler and playmaker, the guy who's setting things up, very advantageous. Now, when you have them both on the floor, they play well off of each other as well.
Muntu with it, was able to finish on the last possession, although right back down the floor, B.E.A.S.T answering. Oh, wow. Nearly spun him inside out. Gets it back to McGee. Screen set by Tony. McGee, right to left, and a foul. We're gonna look back at the stat line for Muntu in this game, and again, it's gonna be really impressive. And we talked about triple-double watch for him.
Yeah.
Just hovering around 10 rebounds, probably surpassed that by this point. And, you know, a playmaker, doing a great job facilitating as well. In addition, of course, to the scoring prowess that he possesses.
So he had 5 assists at the half.
McGee, nice move. It's one of those you want to, if you're going to get back into it, you want to convert those opportunities. Good cut.
You know, for such a little guy, McGee actually has himself very involved on the defensive side of the ball. Gets a lot of extra possessions.
Green.
Matt Green on the triple.
McGee to Barry. Trying to make something happen, gets it. And that's a guy you want to have with the ball right now, Muntu. Gets it over to McGee. 5 on the shot clock. McGee. Oh, wow, make something out of nothing, Elias. What a job.
Yeah, he split the defenders. That was calculated. He knew where he wanted to be, spun off, protected the ball on his way to the rim, important.
14-point game. Matt Green kicks it to the corner. Davis, short, bounces around.
There's
Johnson
McGee
can't
again.
secure it. Oh, Davis. Second chance opportunities have been killing Halifax Prep. That's one of the challenges when you're a little bit undermanned and you also don't have the luxury of having a big man. Oh, wow. Spin move along the baseline. Spin cycle, layup. Count it plus the foul. Brandon Muntu. Wow. Very impressive. He's got an array of skills.
And one thing I really like about him, and I wrote this in my scouting notes, he uses the fundamental skill sets very effectively. The jabs, the pumps, you know, they're so easy, especially on closeouts. It's very easy to throw off defenders using those skills. And I just feel like they're underutilized because the first thing that people want to do when they catch the ball is automatically put it on the deck. And what we saw from the last game is a lot of guys get called on a travel because they're so anxious
to put it on the floor and attack. You see with Muntu, what he did there, an excellent job of attacking that closeout where he's catching it, just patient, and to your point, shot fake, spin move, nice fundamentals, and they get a bucket there.
And despite this beast lead, I think Halifax Prep is still in this. They're that type of team that's going to fight to the end. We saw what the East Coast flavor brings to the table.
They're still within striking distance, down 13 with just under 7 to play. McGee with it. Across the timeline, it's Mertenham to Tony. Tony spinning into the lane, gets it back. Ryan Tony, the left hand. Here's Davis. Can't find him in transition, and that's too easy. McGee. Again, Halifax down by 13. Just when you think they might be turning the corner. Oh, wow. The level of difficulty on that shot. Julius McGee fading away in the short corner, and he hits.
In the absence of Johnson, it has been Muntu and McGee holding it down for Halifax Prep.
Merton pushing. Oh, wow! Merton.
Great stop and go.
Nifty crossover, too, and looked like he was about to put himself on the highlight reel. And timeout. Less than 6 to play. Halifax Prep hanging around. It's an 11-point deficit.
Pangos will shoot another three, his third triple already.
I'm a retired teacher. I coached at a whole bunch of different levels throughout the player delivery system in Canada. Involved myself at the provincial level as head coach of Team Ontario from 1994 to 97. Coached at the university level, University of Guelph for 7 years, high school coach, and I'm now an author. And I'm an author of a book called Can't Miss, a story about Kevin Pangos. But the angle that I'm bringing about the book is that I'm a basketball coach who wrote a book. So the delivery of the book encapsulates everything that's Canada basketball is all about.
Pangos will shoot another three, his third triple already.
I'm a retired teacher.
We're back live. It's an 11-point game. B.E.A.S.T Prep leading Halifax Prep, and one guy who's been very effective. I mean, we talked about Brandon Muntu at great lengths, but for B.E.A.S.T, it's been Javon Davis who's had a good game, and he's getting a breather right now. But here we go, and we're getting into crunch time, Elias. It's winning time. We'll see, does Halifax Prep have one more big run in them?
I think they do, man. I think they do. Right now, you know, McGee's got 5 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds so far in this game. And if they can look for him to be more of a scorer, I think they will find some success. And then for B.E.A.S T, it's been very well balanced. Fagoro lets off a 3. He's actually been consistent from the perimeter, with the exception of that one.
Muntu up to McGee, back to Muntu, into the lane. Kicks it back out to Mertenham. Mertenham trying to get in there. It's back down to 11. Here's Green with it. Matt Green, he's going to attack that. Good defense, though, by Ryan Tony. Saw that Green was trying to be aggressive and maybe take advantage of the mismatch, and able to come over and help. Muntu pulling it up off the back iron long. Rebound, and Giles. No, they're going to get him on a block.
Definitely had him moving, so right call.
Muntu trying to stand in there and take a charge, but as you said, maybe backpedaling a little bit. So 4.5 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Giles at the line looking to extend this B.E.A.S.T Prep lead. See Anthony Bradshaw back in the game. Free throw is good from Giles.
And it seems like anytime Bradshaw's in the game, they go on a little bit of a run. You know, I know he's quite a threat down low in the paint. You know, Halifax thinks twice of attacking when he's down there. So,
and just the leadership qualities he possesses and the way he's communicating out there. When your big guy, as the quarterback of your defense, is communicating and making sure that he's always engaged, that in and of itself just provides a bit of a boost and ignites your whole squad. A 13-point deficit for Halifax, and they're going to inbound along the end line here. It's Muntu who's going to trigger. Screen set, they get it into McGee. Shot clock down to 10 now. McGee, hand off to Muntu, and it looks like he's going to have to create, oh, nice execution there. The pin down, and Tony connecting from long range.
Very unselfish play. Muntu had a shot if he wanted it himself, but saw that Tony had a lot more time to set his feet and get it off, and it was good. 10-point game now, and you were saying, does Halifax still have another run in them? Here it is.
Now if they're able to crack this plateau, they've been hanging around at 11, 13, and if you get it under 10, right there, there's the answer. Dylan Nelson. Oh, it just seems like everything, there's a counter for it. Screen set by Muntu's going to reject it.
And it seems like Dylan Nelson has caught wind of all the backdoor cuts, and he's been studying the game and not allowing Muntu to get off, but he will answer with the three.
Muntu back down to 10. B.E.A.S.T, they're going to take their time, get into their sets, and obviously as the clock is the enemy now for Halifax Prep. That's Anthony Bradshaw, the big fella, showing off his range.
He doesn't live out there on the perimeter, but he rented some space out in this one.
McGee trying to create some separation. Foul. Nearly got it to go.
Nothing wrong with getting a few at the charity stripe with the clock stopped. Taking a page out of St. Laurent's books.
Substitution coming. It'll be Matt Green coming back in for this stretch drive. Free throw is good. McGee, second attempt. Gets the roll off the front iron and in. Substitutions, here comes Jaron Johnson back in, and they're hoping. And Marcus Seaton making this move, hoping that one of his key guys can put it together in this final 2:45. Maybe find lightning in a bottle here and go on a spectacular run down the stretch. It's Green with it. Virgo to Green. Back to Green to Bradshaw. Anthony Bradshaw having his way. In there, he makes a move along the perimeter, catches. And you heard Elias talking about the fundamentals. Simple shot fake and jab step and attacks using the left hand. And he's going to go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Free throw is good from Bradshaw. Second free throw on its way, also pure. Julius McGee bringing the ball up the floor for Halifax Prep. And Dylan Nelson doing a great job defensively. Not getting fooled that time on that backdoor look. Tony Dumps it down to Rousseau. Got to get a shot up. Tony down to 5. It bounces around, won't fall. Oh, and a foul there. Virgo. Marcus Eaton doesn't like the call, but I think from his angle, unable to see that it was indeed some contact from Ryan Tony. Here's Green, Bradshaw, Green, Nelson, short, but Bradshaw getting in there, offensive rebound, kicks it out to Green. Green attacking into the lane. Oh, and a massive rejection. Wow. Bit of a controversial, questionable call there. Ryan Tony doesn't like that one. Looked like he got all ball. And he gives a little bit of a smirk here. Kind of looking over at the broadcast booth. He did a good job getting into that help position and tabbed with the foul. A timeout, 1:42 remaining. We'll stay with you here as we get the final couple minutes of this ball game. A 15-point lead. A reminder, we still have 3 more games coming up after this one. And then we have our national championship to look forward to. We have a good one. Our next game featuring SJK and GTA Prep. And AJ Lawson, Casey Azagu and company picking up a win yesterday, and after dropping a tough one on day 1 against TBA. And then later on, we have LBA and CTA. That's going to be quite the matchup. Central Tech closing out the evening against B.E.A.S.T. In London basketball, they've played some tough games this week. And, you know, last night picking up a win over TBA. They dropped one to the host Crestwood Prep Lions on first day of our 4-day stretch here. And Brandon Muntu, just getting word from the scores table, 33, 9 rebounds, that is, and 7 assists.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
It's incredible.
The consistency from this kid.
It's amazing.
He's coming into this session averaging 18. He's been averaging close to 30 in this session. Ridiculous. I love it.
It's incredible. McGee gets it to Barry, to Tony. Talk about a guy who can fill it up. Ryan Tony's been excellent as well.
It's been a solid game right up to the 4th quarter here as B.E.A.S.T really built up this league, and that's a really ill-advised shot considering.
Well, there's the double-double from Muntu. He collects his 10th board of the night, of the afternoon, excuse me, and Barry gets the floater to go. This is what we're going to come to expect to see from Brandon Muntu. And if they're getting that level of production from him and you pair it, as we saw yesterday, you pair it with Jaron Johnson, and if he's giving you 20 a night, he had 24 yesterday, they combined for 68. I mean, if you're getting that production from those two guys, you're going to have an opportunity to scare some teams.
Yep. And I think coming into next year, you know, this offseason is about recruiting for Halifax Prep. They're looking for size 6'5 plus. And once they're able to add a little bit of that, I think it changes the whole dynamic of the team and moves guys into their natural positions. Now, that could also cause some heat.
Sure.
Some of these guys used to playing a lot of minutes. It's not going to be a full guard rotation anymore. So it's actually a healthy thing because now you're battling for minutes.
That internal competition that you're going to foster, it's going to make your team better in the long run, and at the same time it's going to allow you to obviously win some more games. You're going to be able to get guys and put them in a position where they can be successful. And there's Green with the rebound. Oh, and on the far side of the floor,
looked like he was really cramping up.
And hopefully that's all it is. And just getting deep into this ballgame. It's Prosper Moriarty. So he comes out. Yeah, it looks like just like a cramp as he's favoring that leg. And we've seen a few guys battle some cramps. And Franco Miller a couple days ago, he gutted out a spectacular performance in a win against LBA. Here's Green. Guarded tightly by Mergenham. Corner triple from Virgo, no good. Barry with it. Oh, look at the ball handling. Barry. Contact and a delayed call, but a good one at that. The official. So as this one winds down with 18.5 seconds remaining, again a reminder, St. John Kilmanrock and GTA Prep coming up next here at Crestwood Preparatory College. And again, for those of you watching, thank you for joining us and taking the time to tune in this afternoon, and we hope you stay with us as we have 3 more games on the day. Barry's second free throw, no good. Mergenham put back. So the 10-point deficit. Nelson gonna try to dribble it out. Feeling some pressure. Finds Matt Green. And the officials are gonna let him play it out here. And that's gonna do it. So a valiant effort from Halifax Prep. Missing one of their best guys, and Jaron Johnson, a key contributor for them, played limited minutes, and a 10-point win for B.E.A.S.T. They are on the board this week. Their first win of this session. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of Elias Sabate, I'm Daniele Franceschi. We invite you to stay tuned to the stream. We're coming back in just a few short minutes with SJK and GTA Prep. We'll see you then.